Hi, I am back. How we doing, everybody? Are you guys ready for me to talk about Tomodachi Survival for a while? We're just gonna yap about it. It's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna have the game in the background so I can show you guys stuff too. Are you guys freaking hyped? Oh, goodbye music. And everybody say hello to... Here we are. Okay! So as you can see, everything looks pretty much the same as last time you were here. Like, even the producer is still here, which is funny. So, yeah, let's just go into here. Oh, it stopped. Well, that's nice. Alright, where do I start? How about we start with this? Before we do some questions and answering, let me tell you about all the shit that I have written down here. Less red? Yeah, oh yeah, do you guys want to be red? Hold on, let me change it to red real quick. Yeah, I'm sure everybody wants it to be red right now. Yeah, here you go. Bam, it's red. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding, just kidding. Everybody's like, no, please. So, first things first. I came up with the idea of this series, Tomodachi Survival. When did I come up with it? It was near the end of when I was playing the original Tomodachi. Like about a week before that, I had this idea of like, oh, what if I did like this second island series, which in my notes is called Tomodachi Life Second Series idea, by the way. I was like, what if I did this island where I turned it into like a survival game, you know? And I was like, okay, that's cool. That's cool. We could like vote off me. This was inspired by Vinny Vinesauce actually did a series called, Tomodachi Life on the original on the 3DS. And as the series went on for long enough, he eventually started being like, all right, chat's gonna like vote out me's that can get off the island. I was like, that's a cool idea. I was like, what if I turn that into a full-on like series, okay? So the first premise was just like, okay, let's have that. So like my ideas I have is like, all right. So I was like, here's an island where I make a bunch of original characters and they'll go through things such as plagues, murder, and more. That was my concept. And I was like, deceased Miis can be found around the island as they are voted out. If no one votes somehow, then the producer will randomly choose a Mii to be voted off. So yeah, I had safeties, like just in case somehow nobody voted like a single character, I would have done like the wheel anyways. That's why I think in the early weeks I kind of mentioned that, which is interesting. Here, by the way, I can show you the list of creations here. As you can see, all the stuff. We have a lot of stuff here, you know. Lots of, you know, you can feel a little nostalgic. Nobody voted could be so funny. Yeah, can you imagine how different the series would be if, like, nobody voted? Would have been very... Oh, I got adult story newsletter. Anyways, would have been very different. But yeah, here's all the stuff I had to make for this, you know? Simple times, yeah. See, like, look at all this. Wait, what is this? This is Q sign, and then Q dead. Corpse, Zenny, summon, summoning mark, Nolan corpse. You can see all the corpses and stuff I had to make. I had so many blood trails. There's the Modius corpse. That was like the first thing that I made, which was awesome. But yeah, good times, you know? But anyways, yeah, so I had this idea. I also wrote down, like, any children on the island are taken in by the producer, you know, taken out back by the producer. So that's why I did that a couple times. I thought about having a thing where, like, I could make you guys somehow interact with, like, the Miis and they'd get, like, punishments for stuff, but I couldn't think of, like, how to do that, so I didn't end up going with that. And yeah, here, in my notes of things, like, before I wrote down all the crazy stuff, it's just, the series will end when the Miis escape into space, leaving behind the island and whoever couldn't make it. So I don't know if you guys realize, but in the ending, which I can also talk about later, not everybody escaped. I don't know if you guys picked up on that part. Like, Lime and M9 and Spoopy, you know, were all, like, left behind on that island forever. So, but there's no producer there, so it's, like, up to you to decide. Maybe M9 and Lime are just, like, chilling, you know, alone. I don't know. There goes my power. Ooh, careful. Do you guys want to hear some of the island name ideas I had? Check this out, alright? So, obviously, I went with Last Chance Island, obviously, right? But, some of the other names I had were Kill 'Em All Island, like KIL apostrophe EMAL Island, which is funny. I like this one. Murder Fun Island, Survival Island, and One Chance Island. Those were the other name ideas I had. Obviously, Last Chance Island I thought was like the best. Oh yeah, there's some, you guys didn't get to hear about, like, how some of the characters might have died. Hopper would have been, hanged. So, you know, Copper. Last Chance, for sure the best, yeah. Yeah, I thought it was the best. Like, Murder Fun is funny, but, like, that's so cheesy. Lime would have been turned into a pile of goo with blood. M9 would have been crushed into a cube. And Captain Addle would have been turned into a pile of bones. So, nothing too interesting. Some of the others that you guys didn't get to hear about, the Hatman was never going to have a corpse. Neither was the Worm Entity. They were, I call them, story characters. The Butcher is the same way. The Butcher also wouldn't have a corpse. Lilith would have had a corpse where she would have been drowned while bound upside down. BL would have her insides consumed by birds. Gore would have been suffocated by a plastic bag over his head. Satana would have been chained down and left to starve. Mama would have been crushed by a boulder, which would have been a reference to a JoJo thing. Don't worry about that. BL's would have been and BL's was buried alive, as you guys know. Oh yeah, Lucifer would have been ripped apart and thrown across the island, kind of like Robo. So none of that got to happen. Well, that's fine. Would have been a lot of work. I'm kind of glad it did. NPCs. Yeah, Tomodachi survival stuff. Don't worry about it, Copper. I'm gonna turn it into a video series. You can watch it then. What about Connie? What about Connie? She had a corpse. She was burnt. She was burnt alive. What else? Oh yeah, do you guys want to hear some of the characters that I didn't end up including in Tomodachi Survival? Do you guys want to hear some of my concepts? I had a couple. I had a few that I just didn't end up getting to. I would have, this one I had pretty early on. Mummy Man. It would have been like a mummy guy, which is pretty funny. The Green Man. She died a specific way because of how we voted. What was the original way? What if I told you that that was how she was always gonna die? That just kind of worked out. She was always gonna be burnt like that. So it was kind of funny. But yeah, there's the Green Man. He was just gonna be a green guy. Teddy Bear. There was gonna be a teddy bear character. There was gonna be a rainbow glittery lady. Rubber hose character. An edgy character. I don't even know what I would have done that. And this one I am sad I didn't get to do. Shadow Pumpkin Head Gal. I was gonna have like a lady who was gonna have like a pumpkin head. But I didn't know how to do that. Alright. Copper's like, I don't give a fuck about this. I'm out of here. I'm sorry, I'm doing a Q&A for my series I just ended. After like 11 weeks. Yeah, all the event names, by the way, were, I planned out all the events from the beginning, you know? It's cool as fuck. Yeah, no, you're okay, you're okay. I planned out every week from the beginning. Oh yeah, ads are incoming for those who aren't subbed. Which you should give somebody a sub if they are gonna get ads. Anyways. Every single week I had it, like, planned since before I started. I knew it was gonna last actually, it was gonna last, like, 12 weeks. But because of how you guys voted, we ended up skipping a week, which was very good. Let me see. Oh, I was just talking about the gay woman comment. Hey, you know what, Peak? We love to see it. Happy Pride. The first week was always going to be welcome event. That was just going to be like normal island life voting at the end, you know, just to get you guys used to what the characters are and what's going to happen. After that was the murder event. I guess we can talk about that specifically. Okay, so you guys remember the murder week, right? Week 2, whenever there's the murder event. I bet a lot of you are wondering how you were supposed to figure out who the fuck was like, yes, ads. I bet you guys were wondering, like, who the fuck... Like, how you were supposed to figure out who it was. And I'll be honest, Tumari figured out exactly everything that you guys needed to pick up on. Unironically. Like, Tumari had predicted perfectly, like, what you were supposed to say, just nobody believed, Tumari at the time. Disney now. Yeah, so basically, like, Tumari was saying that, it was the house furthest away from where the murder was. Connie was being framed. It was actually based on friendship levels, you know? It was based on friendship levels that like, you could figure out, like, who was gonna die. Let me look. So, yeah, Ron got killed because of Ron's friendship level was the highest with, Nolan's friend. Yeah, that's very complicated, I know, but I did have a logic to it. Oh, it was Connie's friend, yeah. It was whoever Connie was closest to, which for some reason was Ron. So, Ron, yeah, that's what happened there. Obviously, also, I think it's funny that I usually call them all corpses. But for Ron, I just called it Roasted Ron. Which is funny. Oh, have fun. Have fun, Copper. Have fun. Thanks for coming by. Anyways, what else? I also, by the way, guys, I want to tell you this. The week where, like, Q was murdering people was gonna be a little rigged. If I didn't like the logic you guys came to find out that it was Nolan, like, if you guys just were like, I don't like him, just get him out, I would have changed the killer to someone else. I had 2 serial killers on the island. Can you guys guess who the serial killers were? Or sorry, there was like technically, yeah, there was 2 serial killers. Can you guys guess which 2 were potential? It was definitely going to be Nolan, but if I didn't like your guys' logic for voting out Nolan, then I would have switched it to this other person. Gonna be watching for those DD streams in the future. Oh, about that. I don't know how to tell you this. Yeah, there was probably M9. No, it was actually, it was actually Connie. So it's kind of funny you guys voted out Connie. She was also gonna be a serial killer. So that worked out. Yeah, so it was funny. So you guys took out a serial killer, just wasn't the right one. But I had written down, like, exactly who would be the 2 that would, like, die, like, before the week started. I was like, it'll be Ron, and if they don't choose Nolan with the correct logic, then it was going to be Ash who would die next. And that's what happened. We lost 4 people that week. Because you guys also voted out Default. Which, by the way, Default, whenever Default was going to get the disease, how did Q get the car? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Nolan? Yeah, Nolan Bruner. Do you want to see Nolan? Let me show you. You want to see Nolan? He's here in the corp section. He's right here. Here he is. Say hi to Nolan. There he is. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, so Default, right? I had big plans for Default. Zoom in. Okay. Best I could do. Best I could do. Yeah, Default was gonna have, whenever the disease week happened, which was originally I was gonna have the disease start before the serial killer stuff, but I swapped the weeks because I thought the serial killer stuff was more interesting. To have, like, the murder event happen as the first big shocking event, you know? He is soup. Yeah, he's a pile of ash. He got, you know, freaking smited. But, yeah, Default, whenever they got infected, they were gonna slowly turn into a just like Sig was predicting. They were gonna turn into like a fucked up like creature. Like their face was gonna start peeling off and reveal like a horrifying creature. That's why if you look at this, you can kind of see there's like a little bit of like a face drawn under it. You can probably see it a little bit better there. It's kind of hard to see. Hold on, let me actually do this. Yeah, you can see there's like a mouth. There was like teeth here, and this was like all torn up. So, you know, there's some stuff that I was gonna do with that, but I didn't get to it. Oh well, you guys killed. So, like Roll, yeah, Roll ended up taking. Well, Roll already was gonna do that, but you know. And then there was the Plague Week. And you guys may be wondering, what started the plague? How did that event start? I don't understand. Where did the plague come from? I spun a wheel and chose a random me to start the plague. And I chose, and the wheel landed on BB of all characters. So it was just kind of funny how that worked out like that. Here's BB, by the way. Everybody say hi, BB. So that was funny. What else? Yeah, and then after that, the plague spread based on who was closest friends to the people with the plague. The fan favorite being in jeopardy was really good. Yep, and it was a fucking spinning of the wheel, you know? So, that was funny. Let's see, what else is there? Everybody ended up... at first I was gonna have the plague slowly spread, and then I realized... Nah. Let's just have it fucking infect everybody within like a few days so that chat feels bad. There were going to be ways, by the way, to stop the plague. As I wrote down here, this will spread among the me's unless chat votes off the infected me or quarantines them. The quarantining will not guarantee the safety of the others. And I already knew that the plague was going to last until the purified event, so that's pretty funny. So yeah, so week 1 was the welcome event, week 2 was the murder event, week 3 was the plague event, week 4 was the cult event. So the idea is that the Hat Man joins. Originally he was going to be a hooded guy, like I was going to have him in a hood, like more like cultish, you know? But But I didn't end up going with that, you know? I didn't end up going with that because I didn't get the hood item until after the Hat Man showed up. And then, you know what? I was like, wait, the Hat Man kind of, that's like cool. That's like a G-Man type thing, you know? Like from like Half-Life. I was like, that's cool. And then I was like, all right, we could work with that. But originally it was just going to be like a cult leader who shows up, you know? That's why it has like summoning portals and stuff. And then that kind of just, I was like, we could change the portals to have to do with the other. That's a better idea. Anyways. So yeah, as the week progresses, the weird runes on the bottom of the island will have glowy lines and the Miis start to wear hats. That was the idea of that entire week. That's why I knew that, some of the weeks would be a little bit more boring than others because they'd be like Fallout events. So I specifically laid out the weeks in a way where every 4 weeks was a triple elimination event. So that's why week 4 was triple elimination and week 8 was triple elimination. And they also happened to be during like slow kind of chill weeks, you know, where not much was happening. I did that on purpose. Because week 5 was the summoning event. The cult has summoned something. The island starts sprouting corruption from a strange artifact at the bottom of the island, which spreads each stream from then on. The corruption has eyeballs and stuff coming out of the ground. This will continue until the purified event. That was the idea. By the way, Tamari, you're good. We still haven't done the Q&A part. I'm still talking about just overall series stuff. Which, by the way, the corruption event, the corrupting stuff took so much fucking work, dude. I had to come in. Like, here's what I had to do. Every time, I had to do this. I had to come in here. Okay? Let's spread the corruption. All right, let me do this. So let's go over here to, don't mind the, look how many things I had to buy, by the way. Okay. Corruption flat. Place. 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 Oh, I need to put, you know, and then, oh, shit, I fucked up, you know. We gotta undo that. Place. You see what I'm saying? It took forever. Especially when I had to put, like, the eyeballs around and all sorts of stuff. Also, because, I don't know if you guys noticed, I started running out of money because look how many corruption tiles I had to buy. Because, like, what I did at first was I was going to use these, right? I was going to do this, but here's what happens. It raises up, so I couldn't put it on the beach, and I was like, ah, fuck. So, yeah, it took forever. I would say once I had to dude, there was a point around this time, around the time of the Worm Meteor event, which was week 6, I had to, like, every night after stream, get off the stream, grab my Switch, go downstairs, you know, chillax, eat some stuff, and then for 6 hours, I'd have to sit there adding, like, the disease stuff. I had to add, like, the fucking plague around. Oh, yeah, do you guys want to know why I was buying stuff from the shop all the time? It's because I was like, alright, just in case I want to add new characters, I need to have outfits for them. That's why, like, near the end, I stopped doing it. Because I was like, I'm not, you could tell, like, because I'm like, I'm not adding any more characters. So I stopped buying stuff. Anyway, so week 6 was the Worm Meteor event. A meteor crashes down near the island. The Miis will see worms coming from the meteor as time goes on. During the second day of the week, the worm entity arrives, and the Miis who befriend the worm entity will have worms as pets, and the worms will infect their bodies. Yeah. So, it was a lot of work. A lot of work. But, you know, it was fun. It was fun. But yeah, the worm event, the problem with some of the stuff in Tomodachi is, like, I wanted the Hat Man to have more hat cultist people, but it was kind of hard to make people be friends. That's why, like, I was struggling so hard. I was like, please be friends. And the worm entity was the same thing, because you guys, like, voted out the worm entity instantly, so I only got to show off, like, one character with the worm infection, which was Robo. But the idea is that everybody would start getting pet worms, and they would start getting infested by, like, worms. But that's fine, because then I knew that there would be so much shit on the island that I already had planned for week 7, the Butcher event. Where the Butcher arrives, ready to clean up the island by killing the most contaminated Miis from all the previous events, as well as any event Miis that haven't been killed off yet. Well, the event Miis, and by killed off I mean just, like, gotten rid of. So that's why, like, the Hat Man left, etc, etc. This will happen once a stream, unless chat gets rid of the Butcher with an overwhelming vote. Warn chat that getting rid of the Butcher could be problematic, but he may also kill off more Miis if they don't. It will kill 1 me each stream if not removed until the normal voting. So that's why we lost, like, you know, so many people. And here was one of the split routes, which the Purified event had 2 options. Okay? If the Butcher was dead, you guys saw what happened. The Purification Cleanser arrives, cleans the, covers the island in sheets of purification, cleanses the island of all the horrors. The Mies will be purified, where they gain smiles and their skin becomes a different color. And the demons are all removed. That was what happened there. Woins? If the Butcher was alive, do you guys want to know what would have happened? By the way, this was another week 8 was another triple elimination because it was just the fallout. It was called the, it was just literally the fallout of the previous week. If the Butcher was alive, I mentioned this in my producer moment, then the island inhabitants would be brutalized, and the Butcher would have left after carving the diseases and infections out of all of them and having, like, literally burnt away all of the stuff. All of the, like, toxin, or all the corruption. So the entire island would have been just, like, blanketed in ash, and all the Mies would have been just horribly disfigured. But they would have all, like, lived. So, interesting. Yeah, no, dude, is that a freaking reference to Quizquo's Heart Connection because of the fish that you caught called Noah? Oh my god, is that from Quizquo's Heart Connection or Webtoons Taps or Tumblr? You should
check out Crisscross Heart Connection.
Anyways, so yeah, and then week 9 was the Reploid event. Week 9, some of the most popular dead Mies will return as soulless and gray Reploid versions. Chat decides if the Reploids stay or go. Their choice will affect next week. So you guys actually chose to get rid of them on the first day, which I was pretty impressed by. Because I thought it would take a week of convincing you guys to get rid of them. Or you guys would have been like, oh, it's cool to, like, see the Reploids, like, hang out, But you guys were like, oh, fuck no, and I was happy about that. Some of the most popular revives Nolan. Yes, I did choose Nolan specifically to make you guys want to vote them out. But that's also why I chose some of the other ones, because I was like, yeah, but also, we could, like, have BB back, and Zinni, and Spoopy. And then Connie was there, too. Yeah, Nolan being back was, like, the big factor in the vote, which is good, which was good. But it's funny, because you guys skipped week 10, the Reploid Fallout event. Isn't that funny? It basically, was the captain infected? I will get to that in a second. I have a very interesting thing about that. So yes, keep that. Remind me to answer that question, Zelda, in a bit. Remind me to answer that, because I do have an answer. If the Reploids are ejected, an amalgamation Reploid joins the island and stays, mind-controlling anyone they befriend, which changes the Mii's eye color and gives them a Reploid mark. And that's why they start calling themselves Reploids. If you recall, that's what happened to Gordon here, But yeah, so that was, like, gonna be a whole week of just the Reploid being there. So I'm kind of glad you guys skipped it, because it kind of worked out, because, we got to get through the ending faster. Do you guys want to know what would have happened if the Reploids had stayed? If you had somehow chosen to not get rid of them? Each day, from then until the end of the series, one Mii would get replaced as a Reploid version. Like, completely, like, killed off and, like, replaced by a Reploid copy. And so, like, eventually the island would have just been all Reploids. Every day? Yeah. Yeah. So there would have been, like, no one left. So you guys made the right choice. I cannot stress how many times you guys made the right choice. Or the wrong choice. You did make some wrong choices. But you guys did make a lot of good choices. So, pat yourselves on the back. Penultimate week, as you know, every stream this week, someone has voted off the island. That was simple. You guys know what happened there. And then the final week, the final event. I had written this down. This is one of the first things I wrote down. When the space travel is unlocked, the producer himself shows up to put a stop to the Mies escaping. He tries to befriend them, trying to convince them not to escape. If chat votes him out, live on stream, then I will delete him with a video of him being banished. That's how I would delete him. And I mute my mic as the Mies escape on a rocket, leaving Last Chance Island for good as the other arrives to consume everything. This will be an edited video. Also, the gameplay will have a red tint to show the other's impending arrival. And that's where the red tint came. That's where this awful red tint came from, because it was the other showing up. That's where this came from. So some of you may be wondering, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What would have happened if we didn't vote off the producer? I didn't have a plan. I was just gonna keep running the poll until you guys said to get that guy out of here. I'm gonna be honest. If you guys, you know, when you say the other consumes everything, oh yeah, so that's something I want to talk about. So as you can see, I just wrote down what I originally said. But as I got to the ending, I was like, I think it's kind of better if M9 and Lime are like fine. So, how is that the one thing unplanned? I had confidence that you guys were gonna vote out the producer. I know how you guys are. That like, you guys had been talking throughout the series, like, man, I wish we could vote out the producer. And I was like, okay, good. They just need to keep this line of thought until the end. I didn't expect you guys to start voting no. That was actually a surprise. I'm kind of glad that it didn't happen. But also, that's the reason I allowed the channel point voting. One, to make it look like there's just an overwhelming, like, vote. But also, you know, I was a little like, but I would have kept running the poll. I would have improvised something. I would have, you know. But yeah, no, canonically, the other did not consume the island. The other took the producer away and left. Well, killed the producer and left. Let's see. Alright, another thing I should show off. The ending video. Let me go to that. I'm gonna just mute it, and we're just gonna look through it. Or I might unmute it, but... Let me get that muted. Alright, here we are. So this video, right? As you can see...
Don't do this to me!
Let me mute it. Sorry. Oh, let me pause it. So, as you can see, this beginning part I made in like a couple hours before... So you're telling me Rose was trying to fight it for nothing? Yeah, I told Rose that after the stream because I didn't want her to feel bad. But yeah, no, there was no other ending. Yeah, this beginning part was pretty fun. If you look at it. Like, it like does this like... Hold on, wait. This like shaky effect. Sheesh. She was right, it was rigged? Yeah, it was. It was. This was cool. I edited this in DaVinci. This is pretty fun. The shaking effect. Hold on, let me see if you can hear this. Guys, listen to this real quick. Let me rewind.
I've been loyal to you. Please.
I've been loyal to you.
Do not forsake me. I swear, I won't let them leave. Please.
This?
No.
So you know how the others like was talking the entire time? You know that like sheesh. I actually was saying stuff. That like the other that was me, obviously. But the other actually does say words there. I'm not gonna tell you what he says. But he is actually saying real stuff. It's just like backwards and pitched down. With like some reverb. But you could grab it. If anybody was interested enough, you could find out what it was being said. It's nothing too crazy. It's just, you know, it's a fun thing. Can you tell me if I donate bits? I'll tell you one of the things. If you do that. I won't tell you at all though, because I would spoil it. But it was pretty fun. It was pretty fun recording all this. But also the ending. So this ending kind of worked out because like the two people that ended up on the rocket, I wasn't expecting it to be these two, but it kind of worked out for the story, which was nice. It was very nice. It being Hopper and the Captain Adel was very cool. Oh, hey, thank you, Tamari. Okay, I'll tell you one thing. All right, here, let me go look at my script so I can tell you because I don't remember. Script for the producer's speech. Here, I'll tell you the first line. You have failed me. You promised. That's the first thing that was said. All right, there you go. Little tease for you. Reploid Adel being some real. Did we vote out the imposter type shit? Yeah. Adel was fun because I was planning for Adel to get like sad after Nautica was gone. But, and then, like, you guys voted out the Reploid amalgamation, and I was like, oh, what if I do something different this time for somebody being voted out? And so Zelda asked earlier, was Captain Adel possessed or whatever, like by the Reploid amalgamation? Yes, the Reploid amalgamation was puppeting around Adel. So if you remember, actually, I can show you really quick. We're skipping to the end here. But do you remember this part? This part? You know, the end, its peak, right? If you notice, it's these two in space, right? It's Hopper and it's Adel, who's possessed, who's got like his body taken over. He's being worn by the Reploid amalgamation, and then this happens.
Wait, what?
So that was to imply that Hopper got fucking murdered by Reploid Adel. So rest in peace, Hopper. I used generic monster noises, but it's fine. It still worked out. I think it made it a little confusing because like the other stuff, but yeah, I thought the other killed them all. Yeah, exactly. I probably shouldn't have used those monster noises, but it was the best thing I could do. I don't think I could have replicated. If you guys actually notice, Hopper's speech where he goes, "Wait, what?" Let me switch back over so I can show you how I did that. Oh, also, actually, hold on. Before we do that, look at the credits. There's some fun stuff in these credits. So as you can see, we got the Sexy Demon of Lust. You can see all their names killed in week 2. Eliminated. There's a difference between being killed and eliminated, by the way. Whenever they were killed, is the producer the friends you made along the way. The producer is a dramatic version of myself. Not literally me, but like a drama fictional version of myself. As you can see, some of them were eliminated and some of them were killed. Yeah, BB the Clown Girl. Yeah, that is her full title. Yeah, I also included like Spoopy, the Ghost Girl, aka Teresa, so that you guys can see all their real names and stuff. Viliana de Francensa, very good. The Eater. By the way, if it wasn't obvious, yeah, Viliana is a fucking cannibal. I don't know if that was like spelt out enough for you guys. Robo was a like nature cleaning bot. That's about it. Why after week 9 does it say dispose of? Oh yeah, you were asking that. They were disposed of because they were Reploids. They weren't voted out normally. Well, they were eliminated, but not by like a normal vote. They were more just chose. I don't know. They were disposed of. They weren't killed. So that's why they are all disposed of. Whoa, Villy was a cannibal? Yeah, I know. I can't believe she is French. Also, you may be wondering, like at this part right here. Oh yeah, Granny Hotcakes died of natural causes the penultimate week. This shit was funny. Oh yeah, also right there, the Reploid amalgamation eliminated penultimate week, ... question mark. I was hoping you guys would see that, and then that would make the ending a little more obvious whenever this happens, Gordon is a Reploid? Gordon was mind-possessed into thinking they were a Reploid. They weren't actually. Also, if you're wondering why Gordon was shot, because I only wanted one person to be possessed by, the fucking Reploid amalgamation. And so I just decided to also kill off Gordon. Because the idea was I was going to kill off all the people that were possessed. But I decided only to kill... I was going to kill off Adel too, but I decided not to. Because I had the better idea of having Adel be possessed. I wanted to kill the captain, damn it! Yeah, you should have. You should have. You guys should have listened to Zelda. You should have listened to Zelda, because now, canonically, Hopper fucking died. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed this. Look at this. During this part, I put a lot of... Here, I'm going to play the song because it's nice. When this happens, look on the left side. Look at that. I was so proud of that. The thank you lingering just a little bit longer. I liked that. I stopped caring who died when BB died. Yeah, I kind of figured that was going to happen. It was unfortunate who got like taken off. I'm a little sad though that you guys didn't notice the extra thank you. I thought it was a nice little extra emotional thing just to be like, thank you guys. It lingers just a little bit longer to really show that I really was saying thank you. Well, now it doesn't have as much meaning. Now I'm bragging about it. Anyways, you guys wanted me to show... I needed to show something. I noticed it. I'm glad you noticed it. What was I going to show you guys? I don't remember. Oh yeah, you guys didn't get to see Roll's corpse very well because of the red filter. Here's Roll, by the way. Cracked open. Like a geode was the idea, you know? Alright. Now it's time for the question. Wow, Rose, good fucking timing. I just got through talking about a bunch of the behind-the-scenes stuff. That was really good timing. Alright, I will now be taking questions. Is there anything that I didn't cover? Do you have a question about? Oh yeah, this is funny, by the way. There's a reason I didn't look at it, like, at this angle, because I was trying really hard to do this. Just gotta have a long... Ooh, have fun, Rose. I kept showing it at this angle, because I knew that it kind of looked like shit. I was gonna put him on the side of this building, but, I didn't, because look how blurry it is. The textures for the buildings are really small, so I had to make him separate. And then, like... It works out from a distance, you know, it looks good. Like that. But if you get too close, the illusion breaks a little bit. So we just had to use a little... What's the deal with Water Girl? What, her? Yeah, the lore for them two is that, this guy, right? I kind of explained it in the series, but, you know, good old, Gordon here was offshore somewhere, like over there, you know? Trying to, I thought that was intent. It is. Was trying to, oh, I see, because you're saying you got slammed against it. Now, let me show you again. You got shot in the head. Gordon was trying to research the island, and the producer and the other didn't like it. So, they made an accident happen, so that the people that Gordon hired to take them to here, which was Captain Adel and Nautica, who were just two adventurers who like to explore, got dragged into this fucking mess. Hi, producer, you fucking asshole. He's not dead! What? He's alive! What? Did you ever make a character specifically for me? Would you believe me if I said no? I made characters I thought you would like, but, like, I did it because I thought everybody would like them. That's why I made them the way they were. Close enough. Yeah, well, yeah, close enough. Any other questions? Noodle has a lot of questions, so I'll answer questions while Noodle types out all of his questions. I wouldn't believe it if you said no for me. Why is there another poll? What? Huh? Why are we voting? Oh, I see. No. Give it to the poll. He's already dead. I can't actually get rid of it, so it doesn't matter, but oh well. Oh yeah, do you want to see that? Oh yeah, I figured out how to... I actually didn't know how to do that until the ending, that I can, like, do this. Isn't that cool? I figured out how to, like, show the polls on screen. That's so freaking sick. Also, oh my god, it's the last poll! So yeah, I have all this stuff pulled up, you know? It was so sick, yeah. Who is the other? Oh yeah, so the other, you know, is a, lore, is an entity that, wanted to be entertained. He's from this dimension called the Other World. That's what these portals were. It's where all the demons are from. It's where the worm entity is from. It's where the Hat Man is from. It's where the producer is from. You know? It's chat. The chat was actually a separate entity. So the other was an entity that, like, was the boss of the producer. Who spent points on that? I don't know. That's what's funny. That poll was not worth it. What's the deal with the eyeballs? They were, infestations from the Other World. So Eldritch Light? Yeah, Eldritch, yeah. He was, the other is like an Eldritch horror. Think of like Cthulhu with like eyeballs and stuff. I don't actually have a design for them. I was gonna have, in the final video, have like a big eyeball. But I was like, eh. Is BB important at all? BB is just a... Oh yeah, I guess I should talk about that. So a lot of you may be wondering, why are all these people on this island in the first place? It's because they all sinned in their lives. They all did something bad. What were those bad things? That's up for you to decide. But that's why there were so many murderers and stuff. So every single person on the island did something horrible and was, like, cursed here. Cursed to be here. My OG theory was correct? Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it wasn't purgatory per se, but it was more of, like, everybody here did something, and the producer wanted to make a game out of it, so the producer summoned them and dragged them to this island to entertain the other, because in the producer's eyes, all of these guys, that's why the producer, especially early on, was saying, like, ugh, these disgusting people, you know? Yes, Rose. Anyways, I'm just kidding, it doesn't matter, it's up to you. The producer was, thought they were all disgusting, so that's why, like, he was always like, ugh. But yeah. I think we already knew this. Yeah, it was never explicitly confirmed, but I thought it was, yeah, it's pretty obvious. What else? What else? Who did you decide to die? Not get voted out first? Oh, you mean for, like, the murder? I did talk about that earlier, but it was Connie's closest friend, because Nolan was, framing Connie. It seems I was wrong about the worm entity being the same species as the other. Yeah, the worm entity is just a entity from the other world. If you want, it could be the same species as the other. It's up to you. I mean, that's, after that, it's just theory, you know? You can do whatever you want. Also, it's funny that the news stopped happening eventually. Because we had so few Mews. I thought that was funny. What else? Wins first chance continent. I knew it was Nolan, I was big brain. Yeah, it's alright, you missed it because you were not here, but I did say that the logic that you guys needed to follow to figure out that it was Nolan was the exact logic that you came to, Tamari. I was so happy. I just couldn't say anything. And then, obviously, they didn't believe you, so it didn't matter. Would you actually believe me, Rose, if BB was the, second person I thought of? The first character I thought of for this island was Zinni. The second character I thought of was BB. Why was the worm entity here? The worm entity just showed up, on a meteor. That's it. Same here. Yeah, oh yeah, Zelda, I forgot. Yeah, you also, well, you didn't have the same logic as Tamari. Your logic was wrong. You had the right answer, wrong logic. Your logic was, I didn't like Nolan. If they had gone with your logic, Zelda, Nolan would have been swapped and not been the killer. I made it. How'd you make the corpses? Oh yeah, you want to see? I drew them. The accurate ones? Oh, I just drew them by hand. I drew all of these just by hand. That's it. That's literally it. Yeah, I just drew them. I didn't I used reference images on my phone, but like I just kind of went pixel by pixel and drew them. Billy's was probably the most complicated, but you know, it was fun. It wasn't that I didn't like him. He was too normal for what was going on around him. Yeah, if that was the logic you guys had all chosen, yeah, I definitely would have swapped the killer. Who's your favorite character? Oh, absolutely Zinni and BB, dude. When they both got voted out, I was fucking devastated. They were absolutely my favorite characters. And also Eilina. I also really liked Eilina. I was rooting for her to get to the end, but she didn't. I also liked Connie, and I liked Billy. Those are my favorites. Was I right about the Hat Man being a part of the studio? The studio is, I mean, technically, yeah, kind of. There's no thing called the studio, but like, sure, there is. The Hat Man, was a rogue, was an agent working with the producer, pretending to be a rogue agent. Hat Man is GD? No, that was the producer. The producer's a dramatic version of myself. Does the Hat Man love men? The Hat Man doesn't love anybody. The Hat Man, think like the G-Man from Half-Life. That's pretty much what the Hat Man was, like the G-Man, working for like a higher entity, kind of morally ambiguous. The Hat Man was working with the producer, but also was like curing the Mies. So, you know, I don't know the G-Man. Okay, well then, don't worry about it. Rise and shine, Mr. Freeman. Rise. Yeah. Oh, sorry. It's wake up and smell the ashes. That's what it is. Anyways, yeah. You're like half right, yeah. But like, you know, there's a lot of the story, I kind of, you know, where the demons come from and go to the other world, from where the other was. That was another thing I explained earlier, but you weren't here for that, so don't worry about it. It's okay. They were from the other world, and then they got put back in the other world. Question mark? It's actually not clear where they ended up, and that's up to you guys to figure out if they got like summoned back into the other world, or the other world is fucking hell. A version of hell, yeah. My headcanon that the Hat Man is just some non-important dude in production. He worked on makeup or something. It just sneaked in. No, that's funny though. No, oh yeah, he had a briefcase on purpose. You know what was in that briefcase? Do you guys remember that? The briefcase? That was like, they all kept talking about how the briefcase was like something. Yeah, there was fucking nothing in it. The briefcase was literally just to like make you guys and the me's wonder like, oh my god, maybe he has the way out in there. But it was going to be nothing. There was nothing in that briefcase. What were the demon family? Why do they all look like past residents? Are they connected or just likeness? Oh, yeah, so. All of the demons. This is going to be a shocker. You guys are going to... Oh my god, you guys hold on to the seat of your... Okay, are you guys ready? Hold on to your fucking seats. They were all representative of different sins. The 7 deadly sins. They were all representative of it. Oh my god! What? But yeah, so the reason they were that, they were all representing 7 deadly sins, but also the reason that Lucifer looked like Nolan was to not say that that was Nolan. It was more of to say that Nolan looked like the devil himself. That was the idea. Nolan was literally the devil himself. Not literally, but like, he basically was like the devil on Earth, you know? Not literally, just in a more symbolic way. I didn't even know they looked like the residents. I'll be honest, most of them accidentally looked like residents. It just kind of worked out. It was a coincidence. But also, it was like sort of intentional. Because they were like sort of parallels to them for like what they were closest to the sins of or whatever, you know? Who was my goat meant to be? Oh yeah, what was it? It was BL's? She was Envy. I mentioned that a few times. Mobius related to them? Yeah, Mobius was related to them. He was one of the demons. He was the twin of Lilith. That's why they were both called the sexy demon of lust. Know what resident was she paralleling? Oh, no one in particular. Most of them were just coincidentally looked like them, but Nolan was the only one that was specifically supposed to look like Lucifer. So 8 sins? Yeah, there was 2. Well, the idea is that there would have been more demons that would also represent the 7 deadly sins. They'd just be like duplicates. Didn't answer my last question about the demons. Also should have put her in my Hear Me Out list. What was your last question? I thought I answered it. The ones that looked like Ron and Spoopy? Yeah, I already answered that. Oh, I see. Will Lilith ever take me? Lilith would love to take you. Just whatever in whatever way you mean. More like 6 sins. 0.5 plus 6 sins plus 0.5 plus 0.5. What the fuck? Anyways, yeah, do we have any other questions? Or are we going to be wrapping up here soon? I will gladly answer more stuff. I will gladly answer more stuff if you have any more questions. I'm trying to think if there's anything I like forgot to talk about. Pretty sure I covered everything. Spoopy lore? Oh yeah, you guys want the full rundown of what Spoopy's lore is? BB take me? Yeah, probably. But like a more wholesome way. Spoopy's lore, is pretty simple. You guys pretty much figured out all of it. She was the first victim of Q, as I said. She looked like this. Her name was Teresa. Whenever she became a ghost, she lost all of her memories and started calling herself Spoopy. That's why she was so tiny, because, you know, she looked different. And this is her actual corpse. This is the one that Nolan made. That's why there's like a stab wound right here. It's kind of hard to see, which is interesting. But yeah, the idea was that Nolan and her were like lovers, and then Nolan killed her. They dated. And yes, it is funny that Spoopy looked like she's from like a long time ago. That's just the outfit it just looked best on her, I'll be honest. Hugh didn't deserve her. Yeah. Yeah. What were the Reploids? Was I correct about them being created by the other for ratings? The Reploids were a rogue entity from the same place that the purification stuff is from, which is just to say space. That's it. Did you ever get scared when one of us figured something out or got close to it? No, I was actually happy. When you guys were figuring stuff out, it was making me very happy. Because I was like, yes, that means I'm telling a good story. Yeah, she was just in a weird fashion. Yeah, you know? What questions did you ask? Who do you think I have the most okay. What is default? Default was exactly as Sig thought, a skin-walking entity. And I explained this earlier, but default slowly would have, like, turned into a corrupt, like, the skin would have peeled off, slowly. What is Roll if not a rock? Roll was always gonna be, just a weird rock creature. Did our decisions ever make you change plans on the spot? Sometimes you guys came up with cool stuff that I decided to just run with. That's about it, though. I don't remember what they were, because they got integrated into the stuff pretty heavily, but... I know there was, like, a couple things you guys were like, oh, it's this, and I was like, oh, that is a good idea. I guess we could do that. It was, like, sort of close to what I was gonna say, and I was like, alright, we could tweak it. I didn't change anything, like, too much, because, like, I had a grand vision, obviously, but... Oh yeah, Corruption Summon C. Corruption Summon. What was I gonna show you? Would Sans Undertale ever have made an appearance? I mean, if you think about it, it's kind of what Captain Addle was. You know, it's like the Papyrus. Was there an audience other than the other besides us? No, you guys were in lore the audience. You were the ones being entertained. Who is the... Favorite dead? Like, favorite corpse that I made? Oh, I had a lot of fun with, like, spoopies. Because that was, like, very elaborate. I like the idea of her being trapped in the Luigi's Mansion ass portrait next to her corpse for eternity. I just thought that's freaking freaky. Yeah. It was really hard to not, like, I mean, that's why I got upset about BB, because I was like, fuck, man. I wanted BB to survive to the end, because BB was one of my favorites. She is free, not trapped. Yeah. Zinni was also pretty fun to make. I'm trying to think who else was interesting. I really liked the idea that Miss Windows was always going to have, like, guts inside of her, because I remember chat saying, like, aw, but Miss Windows doesn't have, like, an actual body. Where do they go after they die here? Dude, I don't know. That's up to you guys. Maybe they go to the other world. Maybe they go to whatever equivalent of heaven there is. I don't know. They all committed sins. So it's up to you guys. Maybe then nothing happens. Maybe I don't know. That's up to you. Milky Way. When are you adding the producer to Forsaken? That's up to you guys. He has a pretty cool design. I guess I could show that off a little bit better, because, like, you guys couldn't really see him, because he was red. Where is the producer at? Can you add them to the normal island so they're happy? No. It's part of the story that they were all meant to suffer. The only one who got... Technically, the only two who are, like, chilling are the sex freaks. Lime and M9, because they're technically just unbothered. Anyways, here's the producer. He has a pretty cool design. Dude, look at... He literally just has, like, the Galactic Dad design, but with, like, a top hat, with a red thing, and then, like, this, like, black eye. I thought it was pretty cool. Because I was like, how am I going to add... Because, like, the idea was I was going to add, like, a Galactic Dad stand-in, but it's, like, the producer, so he's, like, a dramatic version of me. I was like, how do I do that? So I was like, alright, I'll keep him as, like, a shadow creature, and then to make him fit the theme, I'll give him, like, a cool eye. What a fucking narcissist. Oh, he is cool. Then why the fuck did you make everything red? We couldn't see. Yeah. Yeah, honestly, Yeah, I wanted there to be a red filter for the story. The red filter, it was really tough to make. This is the best that I could do. You guys want to see how else I could have made it? Check this out. Like, guys, it could have looked like this. Hold on. It could have looked like this. This is how it was originally going to look. Isn't that awful? Is the producer single? Technically, yes. Not enough of a narcissist to want fan art from me, apparently. You can do whatever you want. The chat wants the producer so bad. I think he's got a cool design. The other doesn't have a canon design, so you guys, if you want to draw like art and stuff of this, yeah, you do whatever design you want for the other. I don't care. It's all good. Tell me who I'm compatible with. I don't know. You'd have to figure that out for yourself. I can't decide that for you. I'm so mad Hopper made it to the end. Oh yeah, Rose, we were talking about that. Hopper made it to the end, but went to space with Captain Addle, right? But Captain Addle was possessed by the Reploid amalgamation, like being worn like fucking Innard and Five Nights at Freddy's type shit, you know? So, you know. Are you happy that the last of your day ones or last two or whatever? Yeah, it was cool. I thought it was pretty happy. It was pretty cool. I'm honestly surprised that these guys made it to the end. I was like, dude, how the fuck did they make it to the end? M9 and Lime, dude? Not who I thought would have made it to the end. What else? But yeah, oh yeah, Hopper got killed in the ending, by the way, Rose. I don't know if you caught that. I can show that again really quick. Give me a second. Here. When they were in space together, right here.
Wait. What?
That. You know? So that was Hopper getting moited in space. But also, if you guys notice that during that so to record that voice line for Hopper, I had to go in to his stuff and like I had to make him say, I had to change one of his catchphrases, like not fully, just like I had to type out, wait, what? But the problem is there was fucking background music. So that's why, like, if you listen to that clip, you hear a dun dun whenever he's talking, because I couldn't do it any other way. I tried to replicate it using like Tomodachi Life, like me, like apps to make their voices, but they use like a new one, so the settings are different for this game. So you can't turn it off in settings. If I could, I did think to do it. I bet you can. Yep, I could have done that. Oh well. I didn't think of it. It's fine. I was tired. It was like 4 a.m. when I was recording that. It was like after the last stream, so I was like, dude, I'm tired. Wait. Alright, do you guys have any more questions? What happens to M9's babies? Oh yeah! They got murdered. They're dead. They got taken out back by the producer. No children allowed on this island. No, no, no. They got moited. I have a question. Yeah, crying? Yeah, they're dead. Wait, past dead. Holy shit, they can start a family now? Exactly. They can start a family. The idea is that the ending is like Hopper, you know, went to space with Addle. But they're gonna be just I mean, the island they can clean up. Basically, I guess I can't say that. That's a spoiler. For something else. If you know, you know. Let's just say maybe there was like a popular series that came out maybe sometime in the past few years that had an ending that maybe, you know, like they can restart and clean up everything. If you know, you know, and that's all I'll say. And don't you say anything, chat. But yeah, basically they so like I guess canonically they could have like cleaned up stuff and like, you know, maybe they would have put Spoopy somewhere nicer, you know, with like, you know, I don't know. Maybe they would have done something. This portal is gone, by the way, in canonically, so you know, it's nice. I don't know. It's up to you guys. You guys can write the fanfics on what the hell happened after the island. Maybe other people found the island. I don't know. But who was your? Who was my? What are frogs? What's outside the island? I don't know. Where is the island? I can't believe you spit it. What if that actually was a spoiler for that? What if that's what I was talking about, Noodle? And then you just spoiled it for everybody. Isn't that crazy? Anyways, the island is somewhere nebulous. There's not really a specific place. It is on whatever equivalent of Earth this is, because like Gordon was here, and like Captain Adel and Nautica were sailing around this planet. So they're on a planet. Macbeth. They're on a planet with other people. So they're just in a remote island, you know? Okay. Got a lot of questions. Is the drawings on the beach lore relevant or random cool design? Oh yeah, this was lore relevant. This was where the summoning ritual was going to be. And that's why the markings were spreading on that. They were following the markings of the beach. Pretty cool. If Captain didn't get entered, would Gordon and him be yaoi? I'm not sure. Maybe. It's the uterus symbol. It kind of. Yeah, the birth of the... Yeah, that is kind of... Yeah. Good job. That was... Yeah. That's part of the... Yeah. Was Honey a bad bitch? That's up to you. What do you think? Well, do you think Honey's a bad bitch? Here she is. Nautica a bad bitch? That's up to you. What do you think? Anyways, I think we're just about done. Does anybody have any other questions or holding back? I'm holding back, Arlo. Don't do it! They haven't seen it yet. Don't do it. She has gills. She's fine. Ooh, about that. I forgot. Did you mention how the affliction began? Oh yeah. So if you guys have questions about like how did the worm entity show up? How did the infliction begin? Outside of the real world answer of I just planned that to happen each week, the in-lore reason is that the producer is putting on a show, and you know what shows need? They need stakes. They need excitement. So what if there's a disease that corrupts the appearance of the Mies, and it doesn't really kill them or do anything, but, you know. Do you have more plans for the Butcher? Oh yeah, I did talk about this. There was an alternate ending where if you guys didn't vote out the Butcher, instead of the Purification coming, which I'll also answer who that is, which actually to answer that, they're just entities from space that the producer and the other sent to clean up stuff, because it was getting out of hand. The Butcher was also sent to clean up stuff. The Butcher would have cut up everybody, like carved out the infection from all of their bodies, and they all would have been like horribly disfigured. But they'd be alive. And they wouldn't look like how they look. You know, they wouldn't look like this. So... I was wrong, damn it! Which character you thought we would have more or less based... We would like more based on expectations? I thought you guys would like Hopper, because I just thought he was a cool cowboy. I was like, dude, do people not like cowboys? BB is immune to everything. This is a question. Ooh, immune to everything. She was ground zero of the disease, and then also maybe got chopped up and put in a little bag full of confetti. And this is her guts, by the way. I maybe got a little dramatic with it. Why was Roll the most disfigured after the purification? Does BB's nose honk? Yes. Roll... I don't know. I'm trying to look for Roll. Oh, you didn't say nose. You did not say nose. Yes. Yes. Anyways, so yeah, Roll. Roll is a creature who, is like an organic being with like a rock outside. So they couldn't rebuild the rock outside. M9 could be rebuilt, have her face put back on, because she was an android. Roll was an actual thing. A hermit crab. Yeah, Roll's basically a hermit crab. Dude, people who are cowboys tend to be a particular political disposition. Oh. See, in my mind, when I think of cowboys, I think of, like, the dad from Mother 3 or Woody from Toy Story, you know? I don't think of racist people that suck in real life. You know, I don't think of that. Did the evil fucking wizard, God, I think it was the actual lizard. You know, actually, it's a good question. That was one of the things that you guys improvised that I went with. The red potion, the red healing potion. That was improvised. They were mean as fuck to be in... What cowboys were being mean to you? This was completely improvised. You guys coming up with a red cure potion. I decided to make it to where they would have perfected this potion and made it to where it would have started slowly healing. But, you know. But, did he actually have powers? Yeah, no, he did. He was actually an evil fucking wizard. That's why he taught Schubert how to smite people. And that's what happened to Q. Oh, yeah, by the way, whenever Nolan was eventually going to be voted out, the idea was that, Nolan, if you guys didn't vote him out in the first week, the second week that he was supposed to be voted out, that Nolan would fight back and try to take one more victim, and that whoever that victim was would end up killing Nolan, and that would be Nolan's best friend, which happened to be Schubert, which happened to work out because Schubert happened to have been friends with Dixon, who happened to teach him magic and potion and stuff. So I could make the death pretty cool. Nolan's death was always going to be dependent on whoever his best friend was. He could have been stabbed to death in that back alley. He could have been smited. He could have been anything, you know? What's the deal with Schubert? Schubert the Helpful. Schubert was originally going to be pretty much the same thing as Miss Windows, like a helpful digital assistant, and then I decided Schubert is instead just going to be a helpful being. Eaten by Villiana even? Yeah, it could have been. If Villiana was alive. I'm taking my food break. Hi, I'm sick. I'm just talking about Tomodachi survival stuff. You're not missing too much. Just doing a Q&A. Apparently we've been going for like over an hour, almost 2 hours. So my voice is starting to hurt. So do we have any other last minute questions? I might take a couple more and then might stop. Why did Schubert not have a face? It looked cool. That's it. I like the glasses being the eyes, pretty much. Chris Chad Puppet, my beloved. It was fun designing all the Miis, by the way. Spoopy was another favorite of mine. I don't know if I mentioned that. Pretty much all of your guys' favorites were my favorites, too. I'm not immune to the propaganda of my own characters. I was more interested in Chicken Little part, but okay. I'll be honest, that was just a coincidence. I don't even remember what Chicken Little looks like. Oh yeah, it was fun making the food. Oh yeah, I actually did get to show you guys. Oh yeah, so here's in detail the Modius leg, which in retrospect I should have made a hoof because it's like a demon, but whatever. Raw meat, ash tail, default question mark. This is just supposed to imply, you know, more of default being just this weird, like, skinwalker entity, so that's why even the guts are censored. Dixon guts, and then BB torso. I'm really proud of how this one turned out. The BB torso is pretty interesting, because BB torso is like... well, I don't remember what Chicken Little looks like. That doesn't help. This is supposed to be BB's torso, like, cut off with sprinkles on top. Like you'd put on, like, ice cream. Here's the Reploid's outfit, by the way. The worm, the bloody knife. The bloody knife! Which, by the way, I don't think you guys picked up on the fact. It kind of worked out that the ending, the rocket they took off on, was powered by bloody knives. Hey guys, what was the thing they all randomly kept stepping on that there seemed to be a lot of laying around on the island? And they kept finding just randomly? Bloody knives. So I thought that was fun. I thought that was funny that that worked out that way. Nobody really noticed, but I was like, oh, that's cool. As an extra detail. The bloody knives that they kept finding everywhere, you know? It's kind of insane how often the bloody knife came up. Yeah, and then it ended up being the way out, apparently. I don't know how that works. Maybe it was the blood of the whatever. Is any from my planet? I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. Canonically? No. But, according to you guys, yes. Because you were talking so much about Zinni being from your planet, I did make the blood specifically the color you asked. So. The producer mentioned them using bloody knives as a power source. I definitely remember that. Yes, of course. How did she get to our planet? Oh, she committed war crimes in space, and the producer yoinked her. That's it. She committed war crimes. As you do as a ruler of a, or, you know, political thing. You know, it's all good. Don't worry about it. A lot of the Miis don't have specific reasons why they're here. They just have a vague, they did something bad. Like, for example, M9 probably was, like, fighting against corporations and was killing people or something. I don't know. She's an android, but I don't know. It's up to you. Hopper. He's a cowboy. Of course he's killed people.
Ringle checks demand. Y'all have to...
Lime? I don't know what the fuck Lime did. Lime does have the power to grow, so use your imaginations, but... Anyways, I think I will take, like, maybe 1 or 2 more questions. If you guys have nothing... If you have any questions, otherwise I think I'm gonna wrap up because I'm tired, I want to eat. And I'm done. Spoopy's a little shit, and that's why? Yeah. Is the producer smarter or dumberer than you? I'll leave that up to you. Fighting against corporations is a sin? I would say killing a bunch of people for your cause is probably not good. I don't know, something like that. I don't know, it's up to you guys what she did. She could have done anything. She could have actually been evil. She could have been working for the corporations. I don't fucking know. That's up to you. What the hell did Ron do wrong? I don't know. Something. Oh yeah, we definitely gotta wrap up, because the ads are about to start. Then why was he Schubert's friend? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think Hopper was misunderstood. I don't think Hopper was really that bad. Hopper was supposed to be a nice cowboy who made one too many mistakes in his darn past life. But anyways, it seems like we're slowing down on questions, so I think we're just about good. A looks maxer. I don't know what that means. So, that's up to you. You decide. Okay. I will leave that at that. I'm not even going to save, by the way. Ads in 5. Yeah, we're probably going to... You know what? We'll sit through the ads. Since everybody's going to be in ads, Noodle, do you have any other questions before, you know, anything you forgot to ask? A head game. Why no Chris on island? Chris did sin in this. I don't know what that is a reference to, Tamari. Is that based on, like... I don't know what that's based on. Head games. It's just you and me, baby. Head games. Everything I wanted was covered, I believe. Yeah, you can ask me in DMs if there's any other questions. Otherwise, chat, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I don't remember. Oh yeah, why didn't I let them have food? Because this island is a punishment. There
Welcome,
you go.
please come again.
Oh my god, it's the producer. Okay, well, I'm gonna wait for the ads to be done, but I guess we're pretty much done here. We will probably never see this island ever again. Who would have survived if the captain had died? Who was voted out last? It was Roll, right? So it would have been Roll, Hopper, Lime, and M9. They would have all lived. But, you know. Is Toasty a top or bottom? That is up to you. That is up to you. When it comes to the crisscross characters, you know, as an aside from this, you know, that's up to you. The characters can all be gay if you want them to be. I don't care. Do whatever you want. It's your fictions. You're allowed to make fan fictions and art of my characters. We're doing whatever you want. You know, I don't care. Save for Tomodachi Survival, by the way. Whatever headcanons you have. Have fun. I don't care. Alright, we're almost done with that. So I'm trying again. Let me see if there's anything to look at. Oh yeah, look at this. Cube inside, cube, wreck ship 1, 2. The wreck ship was actually pretty interesting to make. Because, like, I had to make the house, and then I had to, whenever Nautica got voted out, I had to make an empty version. Favorite ship besides M9? I have no answer to that. I don't know. The Butcher's house was fun to make. Because the Butcher... Because, like, the Butcher was, like, working with the producer and them, but not really. I guess I forgot to mention that the Butcher was actually just trying to save the people on the island. Like, he was sent there, but he had good intentions. He wasn't exactly evil like the producer and the other were, or ambivalent, or whatever fucking word it is. But you know. I like Captain Addle's ship. Yeah, by the way, this is the best I can do. That's why they're squares. You know? But, alrighty. I think we are done here. I don't think there's anything else left to cover. But, yeah. I hope you guys liked Tomodachi Survival. I put a lot of work into this. I cannot stress. What was Ron's lore? Fuck if I know. I don't know. Ron is just a friendly guy. Why is he a sinner who ended up here? I don't know. That's up to you guys to figure out. I've had ideas, but I don't want to spoil the character for you with my own ideas, so I'll let you guys just come up with whatever. But he was supposed to be just a nice, friendly guy. Maybe he had an accident. Who knows? Hit a snail with his car once. Exactly. Something like that. I don't know. It's up to you. Do you guys want to hear my idea of what I had for Ron? Okay, I'll tell you. I had the idea that he was very lonely. So he wanted to have friends. So he kidnapped a person to like go to jail on purpose. And then in jail he wanted to make friends, but he was too nice, and so he ended up here instead. You know, he was just lonely. That was my idea, but honestly, it's up to you guys. Whatever you guys want. Anyways, that's it for this. I'm not gonna save or anything. I'm just gonna close out of it. But yeah, that is. Hey, that could be the reason tomorrow. It's up to you. But anyways, that is gonna be it for the stream, and that's also it for Tomodachi Survival. I will probably turn the series into a bunch of videos. I plan to. We'll see when that happens. It might be a while. Maybe it won't happen. I don't know. I plan to, though. You know, I'll post those, and that'll be fun. You guys can relive the series in a more highlighted format. Go like, you know. Just know that all of you, you know, whenever the other people are watching the series and going, wow, this is so cool. You all were here for it. All of you. You experienced it. Even if you only for a little bit. You know? Some of you for the whole thing. So, hi YouTube. I don't think this part would be in the YouTube video. I hate to say. Yeah. But anyways, that's it for the stream, guys. That was a lot of fun talking about Tomodachi Survival. It's finally over. It's done. You know, I don't have to make anything else for it except for videos. Oh wait, it's not done. Oh, now I gotta make videos. Anyways, guys, I will see you all next time. But first, let's do some of the things I do at the end of all my streams. You know, I put a lot of effort into this Tomodachi Survival stuff, but you know what else I put a lot of effort into?
Check out Crisscross Heart Connection.
Crisscross Heart Connection. If you want to read it, you should. If you have any interest, now is the best time. I'm still going to keep saying that. Now is the best time to do it. You know, just type !comic. You could find it. Right there. All the links. It's on Webtoons. It's on Tapas. It's on Tumblr. I'm thinking about uploading it to Global Comics eventually. I'm thinking about uploading it to a website I might make myself one of these days. I don't know. If I ever find time or figure out how to do that, maybe I'll do that. Who knows? That'd be cool, right? But anyways, yeah, it's a great time to get into the comic now if you thought about it even a little bit, because there's going to be a lot of crazy stuff happening, and I highly recommend it. Getting into it before all that happens so you can see it as it happens. Month to month. I almost said week to week. Can you imagine that? Oh my god. Month to month as it happens. It's going to be very interesting, very exciting. I'll just say this. Nope, I'm not going to say it. But anyways, yeah, also I have a Patreon. Yes, you can get chapters early there. Also, I'm thinking about starting a thing on the Patreon where I ask patrons for monthly art, like voting stuff, but we'll see. I'm also probably going to include some YouTube benefits for that once I start making videos. We'll see. But anyways, by the way, VOD watchers, sorry, I didn't forget about you. Scroll down to the description of literally any of the VODs. All the links are there as well for Crisscross and the Patreon and stuff. But anyways, fun fact, Vi didn't know the Patreon was only $1 a month, even though I say it every time. Yeah. There's also free stuff there too. There's free stuff. It's $1 a month. If you do $5 or up, you get like exclusive posts that nobody sees except for you. Which is like secret projects, artworks from the past, you know. Further proof nobody listens to me. Wait, Patreon is $1? See what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I have $20. Yeah, it's $1 and you can get you know. For the love of God, someone read the lore updates. Anyways, guys, let's find someone to raid. Oh, before that, I will see you all on the 7th. Interesting. I'll see you on the 7th. Marvel Tokon comes out today, so on the 7th, I'm probably going to be playing Tokon. After that, I might do the Hear Me Out stream the next stream after that, maybe, unless something else comes up. But so for those who keep asking about the Hear Me Out stream, I'm aiming for after the stream after next. We shall see. If something comes up, then something comes up. But that's what I'm planning, at least. And I will do it first thing, by the way. It'll be the first thing I do in the stream, no matter what. So look forward to that. Let's see who's streaming on Twitch. There's a lot of options here, because I'm streaming a little bit later than usual. Well, my usual I have been lately, at least. How about the... You know, I'm feeling chill. We were just talking about comic stuff for a while. Go watch Mark. Drawing comics. Gonna play some games later. Probably, I would assume. I will see you all next time. Your raid message this time. I haven't done that lately. Because last stream ended abruptly because of the stuff. And then the stream before that, I just forgot. Your raid message this time is... compliment Mark's artwork in some way. As genuine as you can. Like, look for a little bit, look at the art, and go like, wow, you did this very well. Alright. I'm out of here, guys. I will see you all next time. Hope you have a great night and a wonderful rest of your day. Until then, Laxi?
Goodbye.
Goodbye.